Hi friends and welcome to my nest. My name is Kate and today we are going to be sewing block number 11 from our pressed flower sew along, and this is the name of this block is called Cosmos. So this is what our block is going to look like right. This block has us doing another hourglass square. So what I'm going to do is make 4 at a time. The instruction in this pattern is very detailed and is illustrated clear. So if you want to follow that, you're more than welcome, but I am not doing that. If you're a beginner and you feel comfortable following the 4-way where you cut your fabric 4 different ways, more than welcome to do that. But today I am omitting step number 2. So that's why I'm going to do my hourglass 4 at a time, and that works for me. So if you want to follow along to see that, that's what I will be doing in this video. So I'll do that step first. And so this is what our block is going to look like this month. This is Cosmos. This is what we're going to be sewing. So I want you to stay tuned and let's go ahead and dive in this month block. Let's start sewing so we can complete block number 11 and add it to the wall right behind me. Okay, let's sew. So now I have my pieces right here. I know I need an hourglass with this 2 being on all 4 in 2 different places. So we're going to bring this here, bring this here. So I have 4 pieces right now. And so what I'm going to do is sew this together, sew this together to create 2 half square triangle on both sides. Okay, now it doesn't matter if they both are perfectly placed right now. What matters is at the end that we get our right size that we're looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to sew 1/4 inch apart. So I'm just going to come around one more time and sew 1/4 inch apart from the center. Other side. So now I'm just going to trim down the center. I'm going to press open manually with my fingers. All right. Before I iron with a regular iron. So now I have 4 pieces here. These 2 are the same and these 2 are the same here but different accent, right? So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this 2 of the same, bring it over, okay? Bring it over, make sure my seams meet, and I'm going to pin. And I'm going to bring the other one, make sure that my seams meet. So this is what they're going to look like. And then I'm going to pin as well. Okay. So this is what they're supposed to look like when you're done. They're supposed to be opposite from each other. So right here, if I flip it open, this right here is opposite from here. Okay. And I'm just going to pin them in place. I mean, like I said, all you could do is try to make sure that they match, and if they end up not matching, I don't feel so bad because all you could do is try. And it's going to take practice. If you're a beginner, it will take practice before you get it. And if your seam doesn't match, if you're sewing, even if you're not making this block and then you're sewing something different, it's just the way it is. Now what I'm going to do is sew down the middle 1/4 inch apart from the center. I'm going to do the same thing here. Sew down the middle 1/4 inch from the center. And then I'm going to come around, do the same thing over here. I'm going to make sure that I got them right. And yes, I do. This is what they're going to look like before I trim them. So now I'm just going to cut down the middle with my scissors. Just cut down the middle. They are done. So this is what they're going to look like. Okay. Now I'm going to press it. So it's going to come out bigger than what I need. And I'm going to square it up. I know you're going to ask, well, what did I cut? So what I did was I went on ahead and cut 5 inches square on all 4 squares. So, and then I sew it and I will trim it to the size that it calls for. So that's pretty much what I did here. without giving away the pattern to make it easy for me. So I just did some math to figure it out on what I need, and that's what I did. So I'm going to press it. So now that I have all 4 completed and trimmed to the size that it needs to be, so now we're going to move on to our next step. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is taking our G piece right here and our E piece, which is our background, and our accent, which is our J piece. So what we're going to do is do a snowball on the corner, meaning I'll sew the square on, flip it back, and cut the excess on this 3 parts. And then on this last part right here, I'm going to sew using this accent color. So that's what we're doing now. And the reason why I'm rotating it before I cut everything off is because I want to make sure I don't cut it before I finish in case I do make a mistake. So that way, if I do make a mistake, I can still rip it out and redo it. But if I've already cut it out, then I have to recut the whole entire thing. So that's why I'm leaving this part on right now. So now that all 4 sides are sewn on according to the pattern, notice we have the background colors on all 3 right here, and the accent is the only one on the corner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to press. So now this step right here is completed. Noted, I only have this accent on the corner. So step number 1 and 2 are done. So the next step is to create the stem. So we're going to make this stem. We're going to take our 2 background colors and sew it on to the corner. So both corners are sewn on, and I did press open on this one. So that is done. And then so the next thing we're doing is we're going to construct our leaves. So our leaves are right here, which is K. So we have 2 of them cut out. And so what we're going to do is take our background and sew snowball onto all 4 corners on each rectangles. Okay. So I've sewn all 4 corners on, and I did cut and press as I went. What we're doing now is literally assembling this block, and we are pretty much done. This is where mistakes happen. This is where I need to be extra kind of careful. So I'm going to just lay it like they're supposed to be. I'm going to lay it like that. I'm going to bring our leaf piece that we did earlier, put it on the corner, put this right here, move it closer. My edges are not on perfect, but by the time I sew it on, it's not going to matter, okay? But I can promise you that this is measuring what it's supposed to measure. So even though this is kind of off, I'm okay with that. The next thing we're going to do is bring our background. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put the other one here. I'm just laying it out to make sure I'm doing it right. And then what I'm going to do is bring this piece, see? So this is what our block is looking like so far. So what I'm going to do now is construct the inner flowers, and then I'll sew these guys on. So now I'm just bringing these close together. I'm not going to press open on this part. I'm just going to pin. I'm just sewing it with my seam pressed to the side, and I'm going to sew. This part right here is done. If you want to stop here, or you want to just kind of make this a block by itself, it is by itself, can stand alone. So, but that's not what we're doing today. I just want to bring that to your attention just in case you want to do that. So what I'm doing now is just constructing our leaves. I realized that I chopped off the points right there, so I'm just rip it apart and try not to sew over my points. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see, because the background is white, it lets me see if I'm chopping over my I'm sewing over my points. So if I'm doing that, it's easier for me to see it before I finish the block and I can fix it as I go. So when I get to the point right here, I'm going to kind of pivot my needle to not sew over. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And so I didn't sew over. So when I came to the point, right here, I went on ahead and pivot a little bit. You can't even tell. I just pivot a little bit so that way I can save that point. And by the time I press, it would just be right on point. Okay. So there you have it. Mistakes happen, and that's okay. So now I'm just sewing the leaves on. I'm going to pin. Here is our block number 11, and behind me are all the other previous block that we've completed, and all of the tutorial are completed here on my channel, so you can refer to them. If you can watch them to the current, which is right here. This is block number 11, and it is all completed. All of our blocks are going to be on point. So these are all of it. All done. I'm just going to take it from the top down. So there it is right there, all completed. And there they are. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like at the end. We have block number 11 all completed right here. That's all I have today. Block number 11 is completed. So this is my block right here. And this is our pattern right here. So far, I'm staying consistent with the colors, but I'm also incorporating my own style. So these blocks are very versatile as far as what you can do with them. I mean, you can make them modern, you can make them, bright, you can make them whatever you want. My theme on this from the beginning are just going to be the red, the pink, and the turquoise, because I want to be able to use it pretty much all year round. I can use it during, like, for example, this is bright. It's got the pink, it's got the red. I can get away with it. For summertime, I can get away with it. And I can use it pretty much all summer long. So there you go. It'll be done next month and we will have our finishing pattern. I cannot wait to get that in March. With that being said, I have completed block number 11 and block number 1 to 10 are sitting here behind me looking gorgeous. So that's all I have for you today. Don't forget to subscribe to this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like it, tell your friends about it. I am on a quest to get to 2,000 subscribers. So with your help, I will really, really appreciate it. So please do subscribe to my channel. And like I always said, I would love to see you in my next video. You have a great day. Bye.